Africa is a continent of opportunity, and a silent revolution is taking place that will lead the continent towards self-sufficiency and independence. This revolution is education in the mathematical sciences. In a rapidly changing world, science and maths are the key drivers to modern technology and development. Today we rely on maths and science in ways we could never have imagined 30 years ago, from internet and satellite communication to the management of energy, water and other fundamental natural resources. Mathematical sciences form the backbone of our modern society, and Africa urgently needs to establish its own skills capacity in the mathematical sciences if it is to successfully develop and thrive. To tackle this need for relevant top-level maths and science skills, the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, AIMS, was established in Cape Town in 2003. In 2008, the AIMS NEI, the Next Einstein Initiative, was founded. The vision is a network of centres of excellence across Africa, offering development-oriented maths and science postgraduate education and research in the mathematical sciences. 15 centres are planned across Africa by 2021.
If young Africans today can tap into global, worldwide scientific knowledge and resources, we believe Africa can take a quantum leap towards becoming a global player.
Two of Cape Town's best-loved institutions, the Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra in the City Hall and Cape Town Opera at Artscape, both are world-class companies delivering the best in musical performance here and internationally. South Africa is full of talent, and last decade especially has seen numerous young South African singers and musicians gracing the world stages. And the doors for many of them have opened through the opportunities presented to perform with these two professional companies. Here in Cape Town, the orchestra and opera continue to provide vibrant platforms that attract top national and international performers to packed houses, giving both performers and audiences access to the best the world has to offer. Providing a world-class experience is attractive to both performers and audience, and it's also critical for the development of young artists. The Cape Town Philharmonic Orchestra and Cape Town Opera have been particularly successful in discovering and nurturing young talent, in the process producing many well-rounded, confident musicians and singers who are able to hold their own anywhere in the world.
One of the things that have made my journey so precious are the opportunities that I got when I was a student at the South African College of Music, as well as in the Cape Town Opera stage and the theatre. Because when I noticed that when I got overseas, most of my colleagues never had the same opportunities that I have, and South Africa gave that to me. And so
Imizamo Yetu, a sprawling township in the beautiful seaside suburb of Hart Bay in Cape Town. It was established in the early 90s and rapidly expanded. Now home to more than 30,000 people, the township is a melting pot of many cultures and nationalities and is characterized typically by unemployment and a lack of skills and poverty. Imizamo Yetu, however, has a unique and special vibe, and at its core lies a remarkable community centre called Izikolobomi. Izikolobomi means the centre of life, and it radiates warmth and energy into this bustling township.
Everybody comes to Izikolobomi, whatever crisis, when we had the fires, it's the centre that everybody meets.
In an initial joint initiative between 17 local Christian churches, Izikolobomi was built in the mid-90s as a church-cum-adult training centre, It recognised the critical needs for a spiritual home for the many different denominations in the township, and the need for skills development and opportunities for the community.
Welcome Ames Cameroon. Bienvenue Ames Cameroon.
Bye. Ames Cameroon has become the fourth institute in the growing Pan-African network of Ames Centres of Excellence on the continent, and the first in the Central African region. Ames, the African Institute for Mathematical Sciences, is a key driver in the development of top maths and science skills on the continent.
We're delighted to be celebrating the opening of our fourth centre here in Cameroon. We now have 4 centres filled with talented young students committed to the development of Africa.
How are you?
Varan Awancheme, himself from a media and communications background, is extremely excited to be at the helm of Ames Cameroon.
The need for maths and sciences skill is critical, and Ames Cameroon will be ideally placed to give impetus to this in this part of Africa.
We're very excited. We are achieving our overall goals. We've set out to develop 15 centers of excellence across Africa by 2023, and Ames Cameroon is another significant step towards achieving this goal.
Ames Cameroon follows the proven model of other Ames centres. The Institute accepts students from all over Africa and has selected 36 outstanding applicants from 15 nations in this first year. And leading them in their studies are top internationally recognised lecturers renowned for their teaching abilities and scientific excellence.
We want to become a leading training and research centre.
As many of you know, the single biggest determining factor for the success or failure of any institution, but in particular for microfinance institutions, is governance. And that's really why we're here.
We really wanted to focus on areas that we thought sometimes don't get enough attention as board members. We often find ourselves really looking at very specific issues such as financial statements or things that are very time sensitive and things that have to be decided right away and don't really get to do what we were really brought on board to do, which is to look at strategy.
There are so many microfinance institutions in Tanzania, and I think there's a lot of room for improvement in terms of the way they do their business.
It's a very competitive environment with a lot of players, but the positive thing is that Rwanda is doing very well in financial inclusion, and a lot of people now have access to financial services.
In Kenya, they are beginning to mature. About 2006, we had the first licensing of the deposit-taking microfinance institutions. We have more coming up. They are national ones, they are regional ones, they are community ones. So it's an area that is developing.
I'm very excited that the combination of the two, we've got good materials, but we've got good instructors, but really we've got great
Do you have an aptitude for physics and chemistry? Do you have mechanical ability? Do you have an interest in working with procedures and equipment? Can you work both independently and as part of a team? If you've answered yes to these questions, then the occupation of materials engineering technologist could be for you. Materials engineering technologists work as part of engineering teams that develop, select and test materials for specific engineering and industrial uses. They investigate material failures and related problems. Materials technologists test the behavior of materials under different conditions to help develop new products and improve the performance of existing ones. These technologists work in a range of industries. Some work in manufacturing companies that produce materials such as metals, plastics, concrete or composites. In engineering and testing companies, they're involved in destructive testing, non-destructive inspection or testing, as well as corrosion testing and control. They analyze the cost, reliability, safety and environmental impact of new materials. They find new ways to use materials in the development of products. Here the work involves performing quality assurance tests of different materials. When conducting mechanical tests, they evaluate aspects such as a material's strength and flexibility under stress. The effects of impact as well as fatigue characteristics of the material are calculated. Specialist equipment such as metallography microscopy, photography and image analysis are used to do this. Non-destructive testing is done using techniques